What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing our sound system in the Tahoe, Kiana. That's the name we picked for it. So we're going to be doing 4 10s on a 7,500 watt mono block. We bought a 400 amp alternator. I'm just going to dive right into it. I got the alternator out here right now. It's a Mechman 400. I was gonna have it powder coated black, but I didn't really want to wait the amount of time because they said it could take up to 2 more business weeks for powder coating and stuff. And I was just so excited because I finally got a sound system for the Tahoe, and I've always wanted to stick one in a car. I'm gonna start with disconnecting this battery so we don't short anything out over here. We just had a fuel pump problem, so the Tahoe is down for like a week, and I don't want to burn up any of those fuses or fuck anything up just by, you know, accidentally grounding something out while I'm messing with these hots over here on the alternator. So rather be safe than sorry. Do it if you want to, don't if you don't. But if you're gonna do the big 3 or an alternator, it's best to be safe and unhook this battery. Battery's unhooked, alternator's unplugged. Got the tensioner there, took the tension off the belt. Now we're just gonna take the alternator off. Kind of hard to do it with one hand, so we're just gonna, for a spare tire kit, makes a great pry bar. To get these jokers off when they're on there tight. Our last alternator was a 4-prong, and this one's actually a 3. So Mechman includes this plug and play harness because this works for a 99 for a 2004 5.3. So all we have to do, plug this in here, plug that on that, and then hook this to a 12-volt ignition fuse, which we have just hooked up right here in our little fuse block. And then we should swap out our hot and our negatives to have our big 3, and then we should be at 400 amps. And it's really just that easy. The whole point of this wiring upgrade is 400 amps isn't going to move through this tiny wire. It'll burn it up and it'll melt it, and the wire will get really hot. Look how much bigger this 0 gauge is compared to it. Even the alternator came included with a terminal to for 1 gauge wire or 0 gauge. So, you know, they know that you're even supposed to upgrade it too, because all that amperage isn't going to move through this tiny little wire. Use my brand new V4 hydraulic crimping tool to crimp on, where'd it go? These connectors on both ends of this wire. And we're going to do one of our 3 upgrades. And if I can and fit it on there, I'm going to try to double up the hots and the negatives. But if I can't, I'll just end up doing double hot, double negative. I mean, single hot, double negative, to hopefully try to overcompensate a little bit. We got the wire on there. Get these. Make sure it's on. This is my first time actually ever using this. I haven't got to use it yet. Is it on? There we go. So we're gonna line this up. It came up a little bit there, but I mean, that's me pulling as hard as I can. That crimp's not going nowhere. And since I'm using some spare 0 gauge I had sitting around, it's gonna be like probably 3 different colors. I have blue, black, and green. I just wanted to use this first because this is spare, and I'll probably never use it if I don't use it on something. So I am going to label these with hot and negative heat shrink, just so nothing ever gets confused. I really wanted to double it up, but there's no way I'm doing it with that much thread. So the hot is gonna have to be a single, which kind of breaks my heart because I know that 1 AUG is only good for 375 amps. So that means there's gonna be like 25 amps on the table, which is gonna drive me nuts a little bit. But it's not really that big of a deal. But I also have a wire already crimped now. I might just do black heat shrink over it if I can use it for a ground. I don't know how far I'm gonna need. I'm probably gonna run a ground off of here, one straight to the battery, and then one either just anywhere on the body really, or on the frame, just somewhere where it would be good and clean and stay. Maybe right here. If that fender well's metal. I don't know. I'll look around, find a good ground spot. I'm definitely gonna unbolt it on the side part here and just get those 2, or I guess 4 grounds ready. A double ground ran from the body right there straight over here to the negative on the side. Sorry, ooh, this wire almost fell. And then we got a hot running straight from the alternator to that. I already showed you that. I'm gonna run another hot straight from here to our lithium battery that I stole out of my silver truck temporarily. And I converted this to side posts so I could use the top post for accessories and subwoofers and whatnot. So we're gonna run a hot from the top of the alternator straight to that. And then we're gonna run a ground from the top side bracket under this intake and then through the back here and connect it to the ground on the battery. And then we should be good to put our belt back on, and then we'll be all upgraded wiring wise. Guys, it's starting to get late, but we got everything hooked up. Double grounds, another ground here ran under the intake over to the battery on the negative. We put on these little, I like to put all these on like any battery I get. It just makes it easier to run accessories. And I got a dual post so I could do just the regular battery terminals here and my accessories, subwoofers, whatnot up here. I'm gonna get some wire loom and loom these up. Might do that tomorrow because like I said, it's getting late. But you want to double check everything just one last time. It's a big reason why I use these. So whenever we hook this battery back up, we don't cook this brand new alternator, guys. So I'm gonna retension the belt and then we're gonna crank her up. So we're all hooked up now. I'm gonna crank it up. And before, whenever, my dash is gonna flicker anyway because these LEDs are going out. But before, none of my gauges work, so this don't really matter. But when I would press my window switch, my voltage would like move, all my gauges would. And now I'm seeing oil pressure's moving. I don't know why, but my voltage and stuff isn't. So I can't assume I'm making better voltage. My radio seems a lot brighter. Oh my God. Holy shit. See if that made any difference. There's our frame strips we did a video on. They're looking the same. Hell, they might be brighter. I can't really tell. I don't know if I'm just thinking it because the new alternator or what. Something's smoking. Ow. Look at that. Cotton 4K fucking pissing. Fucking awful leak. So, it's a Tahoe though. 5.3 gonna make it, baby. Come on. Day, and I think it's supposed to rain here in an hour. I want to try to run some of the 0 gauge. You can just hear thunder probably. But I want to try to run some of the 0 gauge straight back. I've already had to go to AutoZone twice because of the leak I just showed you guys. And I needed a new hose that connects to my water pump because it was dry rotted and then it sat on top of the belt. So whatever life it had left just got ate through. So we got this new hose now. Ran away from the belt. Learned my lesson. I also wire loomed these because I was scared this little area would get hot probably. Oh, there's the thunder. Wire loomed this too just because I had some spare. Wish I could do these, but if I get some extra, I'll do them too. Maybe I'll order some wire loom. But hopefully we're done problem-wise for a little bit on the Tahoe so we can get back to doing all the fun stuff. I'm gonna drill out a hole for this firewall and we're gonna say fingers crossed it doesn't rain on us. Starting to run the wire. We got it through where the radio antenna connects. We're gonna take off these Phillips heads, tuck it in through here, run it down this. And I haven't really made a plan yet. I guess if I can run it up here, just run it up here and then have it run out of that. I guess that's the only thing I can do because the battery's gonna be behind here. If I might Maybe even try to run it under the seat. Nah. Always remember that nothing's ever as easy as you think it'll be. All of these screws have stripped heads, so I'm gonna have to drill out each individual one, then use my back off tool to get them all out. Like this. Might have to dig that one a little deeper. That one wasn't coming out, but we got the first one out just like that by using that back off. So we're gonna run the wire down here now, hopefully not get rained out, and run it straight back. So we need to get some more screws for the ones that I had to get out because they were stripped, which was like all of them but 2. But interior's looking good, everything's tucked away. Tried to run the wire up here as good as I could and then ran it back here. This is where our second battery is going to be. Our box is going to be on the other side. And the floorboard, you can see a little bit of the 0 gauge. Tiny bit. But I'm about to get a Sharpie. And I'm going to mark where it's going through here so I can wrap it up with some tape and stuff so that little bare spot doesn't rub a hole in our wire, because that would suck. So we're going to chop this off. We'll do that, crimp it up, and cut to it. And next, we'll probably already have our batteries hooked up. All right, guys, this is where we're at now. We got the fuse ready to hook up this side of the battery. Come back here. We got our fuse block mounted. We're gonna crimp up this, crimp up that, stick those same connectors we stuck on that other battery on the top. And then our secondary battery will be hooked up. We'll be good to toss the box in, and then just hot to hot, negative to negative, you know, straight to this fuse block to that battery. I mean, it should be just as easy as that. We are now in the trunk. All that's left, hot to hot, negative to negative. We should be good, guys. All right, guys. We just gotta plug this in. All right, now our remote, still have to heat shrink it, is hooked up. Batteries are hooked up. We got fuses hooked up, hots hooked up, negatives hooked up. Remote wire just got hooked up to that fuse we showed you. All that's left now is the RCAs he currently has plugged in aren't long enough. So I wanted to run my epicenter anyway, so I'm probably just gonna plug my epicenter in for now and do a quick and dirty hookup because I'm really excited to hear these in the Tahoe. Got pretty late before we got the epicenter hooked up last night, so it's the next day and we're ready for you guys to hear us. The 410s are in the back, but before you guys hear me, we're gonna get a DB meter and we're gonna DB a couple of locals and some of my friends and see what they think about their systems. Then we're gonna DB ours with them in it and see what they think. So we're here with Logan. We got the DB meter to measure 2 sundowns. They're in a custom box, it's ported. We're gonna kind of use this as a reference to see how loud the new setup is. So he's gonna play whatever song he wants and we're gonna see what we meter it at. All right, whenever you're ready, Logan.
Listen to this track, bitch. Like I'm in the power, I'm fucking on the camera. Almost down another animal. Gucci is no amateur. Child with the amateur can damage you. I handle you 2 pounds on my bike, 1 on the back, 1 on the handle. Small Ferrari up my 30, so I call that bitch too much to love. I Canada on Canada.
You said to go, don't get me started. 2 shots of Patron, now I'm all in the car. You said to go, don't get me started. When I click a thug, niggas, when I step out in the car. You said to go, don't get me started. Full of that liquor when I step out in the car. You said to go, don't get me started. Gone out them niggas when I step out in the car. Nah, don't get me.
Copyright. All right, we're gonna do time today.
I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Fuck it, I'm crossing the line today. The hate be so real, the love be fake. Be bumping they guns and bumping my tape. Don't go against me, they ask for my help. Don't get out your feelings and get it yourself. Might got the same shoes, but you ain't gon' step. That shit that you just put out, you could've kept. Yup, she got a nigga, he got a shot. Why? You can't compete when you can't compare here. She ate the dick through my underwear. Got up and got herself out of there. I see that
So we're like averaging like 85, 87, probably top out at like 92. And let's go let's go do a better look at the build real quick. All right, Logan, tell us what you got.
All right, so ignore the mess. It's just 2 Sundown 12s for the bass, and then up in the front, got some door speakers and some red tips. Got the 2 amps, and then the 5 red tips, and I have 2 red tips in the doors for audio.
So this is probably one of the better sound systems in the 706, and we're topping out at like 87, or we're topping out at like 90, but we're averaging 87. All right, we're back with the PK crew. We got Logan in the back, we got Skyler up front. We're finna hit a dB meter on Skyler's Scar 15. After doing Logan's, I'm thinking we're probably gonna hit like 65. What you thinking?
I'd say around 65, 70.
So Skyler's gonna pick out his loudest song that he thinks is like just the loudest on his subs, and we're gonna see what we peak out on the dB meter. Well, we didn't get to record it because the amp wire got knocked loose, but we hit like 85. So it's doing the same about Logan's Sundown, which is, I mean, that's honestly kind of insane for a 15 in a prefab. I can't imagine what it'd hit if we put this thing in a custom fab box. 3 hours of the King with Logan.
What's up?
And we're gonna get the 410s to hit for the first time, and we're also got the dB meter, and we're gonna see what we dB at. So what song we playing?
Playing Pop Shit by BAKJ.
All right, hit it. Get the bass knob up.
Now, but still be making sounds. Ain't no new guys in this bitch who I be with, they chase it down. Free little switch as soon as he get him a bond, I better be out that jam. Break his off to be in that bitch for a minute, cause none of them got no paper. Boy, say later. Just my favorite flavor. He the type to speak on my first dropping the hook, I'm that bad. Baby, no, this is sad, but I'm down that bad. It's all I can hang out to kick those.
Pretty good, and we don't have a lot of voltage drop. So we're back home, and the dB meter would only hit 56. So the theories are that me and Logan came up with: maybe 1, the dB meter is broken or just isn't accurate, or 2, we're over 130, which is probably what I'm going to tell myself, because the video doesn't do it justice. But this thing like tickles your ears, man. And when the windows are up, you can literally feel your hair move. But I'm really liking the sound system. Hopefully we'll get a stunt wall soon. But I'm probably gonna redo the front grille first. But something else pretty cool is this system is so loud that we're actually starting to blow out our windshield. It was cracked before, but it keeps getting more and more. The video you can't really see, but it runs all the way down on both sides and it makes a big U. But I mean, it has just gotten more and more cracked me riding home, especially behind that mirror where the mirror's been bouncing. That's gonna be it for this video. We've put in a lot of effort into this, so make sure to leave a like and just comment. And I appreciate you guys, and keep an eye out for the front clip, because that'll probably be what's next. And we'll see you guys later. I want to say one last thing before the video ended, guys. Huge shout out to the King. Wouldn't be able to do any of this without them. Shout out to the owners, they're awesome. Shout out to all the workers. You know, I wouldn't get any of my money if it wasn't for King. So go check out Pizza King. Buy one, get one.